Hey guys, happy Thursday. I just want to come to you guys and talk to you guys about a topic that's been really on my heart for a while now, and that's trust. I know during this time of uncertainty, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now with everything that's going on. People out of work, people don't know how they're going to feed their families, we're not going to church. There's just a lot of different stuff going on in the world right now, and the main word that keeps popping into my head is trust, because it's so easy during this time to say, okay, God, like what are you doing? Why are we going through this stuff? I don't understand why we're going through this stuff. I don't understand why are you doing this? What is the purpose in all this, God? And I feel like God, is taking us somewhere deeper. He's calling us to a higher calling, to a deeper place in Him, and He just during this time He really wants us to trust Him, and take that faith, that blind faith, and just really follow that path that He wants us to go during this time, because stuff like this in the world has really never happened. People have not we've kind of just dropped everything in our lives, and we've had to go on, and what are we doing? I think everyone's in that kind of state of what's going on. But God knows all things, and God knew this was going to happen, and this didn't take Him by surprise. And so during this time, we just really have to trust God. Psalms 31:14 says, "But I trust in you, Lord. I say, you are my God." So just it's time to trust in Him. And Psalms 56:3 says, "When I'm afraid, I will trust in you." This time has caused a lot of fear. It's caused us to be worried. It's caused us to just live in fear and to be fearful. And Proverbs 3:5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." When I think of trust, and I think about times in my life when I had to trust God the most, I'll never forget. One day I got a phone call when I was in my early 20s. It was from my mom, and she called me to tell me that my dad had lost his vision. He was sitting at work and lights out, and I was like, okay, God, well, like, what are you doing? What, like, my dad's in his 40s. What is going on? And so we really had to, rely on God during that time and trust in God. I was in college. I think I was a sophomore in college. And so I was 19, 20 years old. And so we really had to, rely on God and trust in God during that time, because my dad had to take an early retirement. And it was a really crazy time for us. But I remember one day, after my dad went blind, he said, "You forgot to tell me what's on my plate." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." He said, I have to really trust in you guys now, that you actually put food on my plate and set it down in front of me. That when you tell me where something is on my plate, I have to trust you. I have to trust that the food is on my plate. I have to trust that that's where you put it. And I thought, wow, God, places things in our lives in front of us blindly. And we have to trust that what He's doing and what He says He's going to do and the promises that He's going to fulfill in our lives, we have to trust that He is going to fulfill them, and that He's going to supply every single need from beginning to the end of that promise that He has promised to fulfill in our lives. And just like this time, there's a beginning and there's going to be an end. And there's promises in between, and there's things He's going to set in our path, and there's people He's going to bring into this truth. We just have to trust the path in front of us. Yeah, we might not be able to see what's in front of us, but now it's time to trust. And it's time to trust that God knows what He's doing, and that He's going to supply every single need and everything that we need. We just have to blindly walk by faith and trust that, He's the God of all things. He knows all. He is all. and He knows the beginning, and He knows the end, and He knows everything that's going to happen in between. So why worry? Why not trust? Why not put that faith in God and believe that He is going to do exactly what He said He's going to do? In the back of the book, it says that we win anyway. So why are we going to sit here and say, oh me, oh my? When we win, ultimately we win. No matter what happens in this world, we win. And it's our job to trust God. And it's our job during this time to be the church and to know that everything that God's doing right now is for a huge purpose and for something that great. It's just for something greater that He has for us. I love you guys. Remember to trust in God. And if you need Pastor Jonathan or I, we are available. We love y'all. And I hope you had a great Thursday.